Well, it's good to know that Netflix is not the only studio who are making generic straight to DVD quality action movie. Hello there, I'm Anaji, and this is FMV Reviews. And today we're going to be talking about the Amazon Prime action movie, Jolt. Quick synopsis: Jolt basically tells the story of this girl who was born with this condition where she cannot control her violent impulses. She ends up being able to control it by wearing this like electrical suit and shocking herself. This has made her life kind of lonely because she can't handle any sort of like slight without wanting to react violently. She goes on a date with this guy played by Jai Courtney and actually hits it off with him. And then the next day, he's found dead. And she doesn't like the way the cops are handling it, so she decides to take justice into her own hands. That's the plot synopsis. So first of all, I want to say, when I saw the trailer for this, I was not particularly impressed. Thought I might get some good laughs though, so I decided to watch it. And yeah, this movie did not surprise me. It is pretty generic. There's this opening shot of LA that I'm pretty sure I've seen this shot in many movies, even though I don't think they quite say what the city is. This opening city landscape shot I'm pretty sure I've seen in like a bunch of other movies, and that was not a good sign to start with. This movie feels like a comic book, to be honest, as it was going on, especially the intro of the movie, this like opening context setting exposition dump to make the movie start going. It feels like a comic book, but I'm sure a lot of you who saw the trailer for this, if you were interested in this at all, you probably were interested because of the action. And I have to say, this movie definitely suffers from the Western style of action with the shaky camera and quick editing. I will give them credit though. There's this one-er fight scene one take fight scene that is actually decent. The only problem is that it's so different from the other action scenes, and I did start noticing that you can't really see Kate Beckinsale's face. It's pretty much shot all from behind. That I think the reason the scene is more impressive and allowed to breathe more is because the stunt woman started doing the fight scene, and then it kind of feels like a demo reel for that stunt woman, and I mean, she's doing a great job. It just feels so different from the rest of the action scenes that it stood out to me. But yeah, this movie is freaking crazy, and just to give you one scene that really encapsulates how insane this movie is, there is a moment where they start doing hot potatoes with babies in order to get the cops off her. And I knew at that moment for sure that, wow, this movie is wild. Very wild. Yeah, this movie is just very generic. It reminds me of the straight to DVD sort of movies where they would get, a fairly big actor or actress, but the budget is not quite there. And so they're definitely selling you on the name, Kate Beckinsale being the name here. I'll kind of get into her a little bit later. But yeah, this movie's tone is all over the place. I'm sure a lot of people are going into this because they're like, oh, okay, get Kate Beckinsale with an action movie, I'm down for that. But to be honest, it's not really an action movie. But yeah, the movie is not really an action movie, to be honest. It's much more of a dark romantic comedy. There's lots of scenes of what is supposed to be witty banter and dark humor, and the actors and actresses are trying to sell it, but it just does not work. It just does not work at all. I mean, the movie structure feels oddly like episodic. It's like you're following Kate Beckinsale's character from one adventure to the other, but there's no building up to a moment or building up to a satisfying ending. It just sort of ends in a certain way, and you'll know what I mean if you decide to watch this film. But yeah, and this is going to be my last point that I really get into, is that Kate Beckinsale, now I've seen her in movies for a long time, but she didn't really come to my attention until the Underworld series. And look, she's pretty good at doing these like generic action movies, but it is strange to see her in this type of movie. I mean, I just feel like maybe she shouldn't be in movies like this anymore. I feel like she's kind of beyond that in her career. Maybe I'm wrong. I kind of want her to do something else. Like, she's actually kind of good at the comedy stuff, even though the comedy stuff is not really well written. But yeah, can we get Kate Beckinsale in some better stuff? I just don't know what she's doing in a movie like this. And yeah, like they even have Stanley Tucci in this. And I mean, Stanley Tucci is one of those guys, anytime he pops up, I like him. He's definitely one of those actors where if he's casted in it, you're not going to make him look bad. And he does his best here. He's charming in little moments, but the writing and the direction and stuff is just not there. So ultimately what I'm going to say with Jolt is it's a very generic mishmash of a bunch of different movies and genres. Mainly it's Crank meets a romantic comedy, but it does not really work. And yeah, even with it being an action movie, those action scenes are not very well served. So I don't really recommend anybody go see this. And with that, I'm going to give Jolt a low 6 out of 10. Yeah, a low 6 out of 10. But if you saw Jolt, let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to hit you back up. And yeah, that's going to be it. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later.